Turn of the Millennials. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Lindy.
And today we are joined by Natalie from the To the Men I've Tolerated podcast. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello,
We need like an
hello.
applause machine.
Oh,
Right? We do need
sound
one of
effects.
those. I know.
Yes. We need
It's
a
one thing I
sound effect,
haven't
like a
figured out.
soundboard.
That's the next
But
level.
anyway, welcome, Natalie. Thank you so much for
Welcome,
being
Natalie.
here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I really enjoy your podcast.
Oh,
I think
thank
I
you.
binged it. I binged it the other day. I think I listened to like the first 4 or 5 episodes, and what like the episode you talked about with your first times. Oh my god, fucking hilarious. I was like, I have such a great first time story too.
Right?
Oh,
As do I.
please, like DM it to us something so I can just start like reading
I
people's
totally
awful
will.
stories on the episode.
Absolutely, I
Right.
will.
So today we are going to be talking about 2, I guess, quintessential books. I guess not even just to millennials, but like to also generations later as well. 2 different books that were just kind of like a staples in all the kids' kind of literary repertoire. So we had The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein, which was written in 1964. So it's kind of spanned a few generations. And then The Rainbow Fish by Marcus Pfister, written in 1992.
That's probably why I don't know it.
Well, yeah,
I
but
was
you-
9.
Oh, I guess, you know.
Oh, it is kind of a kindergarten first
Yeah.
grade book.
That's
Right.
probably why I don't know that one.
It was-
And then The Giving Tree, I have no excuse for not knowing that
No
one.
excuse for that
It
one.
was
And your
made
mom
well before I was born. So
and your mom even worked in the school system, so I'm surprised like you didn't
Yes.
know it at some point.
that's true.
I'm convinced my elementary school had one of those when children's theaters would travel elementary schools and being your cafetorium. Like, I'm convinced that we had a live production of The Giving Tree one year, just really to hit it home that this is.
I'm sorry, what was this? What is this
So-
tour?
So when I was a kid, you would have traveling children's theater troops, and then they would the whole school would load up in your like gymnasium, auditorium, cafeteria blended room, and then you'd sit on the floor. And I remember there was a Lewis and Clark one, and I'm pretty sure we also saw The Giving Tree, and they would just like, it would be like a cast of 5 to 7 people, and they would tell the story as a live
Interesting.
play production. Yeah.
I think we probably had something like that in our schools, but not like literary things. Like we would get kids like dance troops and stuff, or
Hoja.
the Hoja,
The acapella
Hoja, the
troupe that
acapella
came.
troupe.
Yeah.
I came across their autograph in my handbook the other
Oh,
day
that's funny.
when I was prepping for our
Yeah.
Crossroads episode.
So speaking of feeling old now, just our little millennial moment at the moment.
Millennial
and-
moment.
Our,
That's
little,
gonna be our official like song for it.
our official song for it. All right,
Yeah.
we're deciding it now.
I voted
So-
you lost.
That's actually the name of the next episode. But anyways. I decided that was the funniest thing to do. But anyways, so my
Anyway.
millennial moment for this week was really funny because I was going to pick up a new book to read, just, whatever. And I decided to go back to the Harry Potters. And when I looked at it, mine is like so it has the winner of the 97 Gold Award, and it's printed. This one is 2001. And I was like, man, that's like 21 years ago. That's pretty old.
97 or what do you?
It was a 97 award, but it was printed in 2001.
Oh,
And
okay.
then I came across another book that I had bought as a child, the Stephen King Stand By Me story.
yes.
Now, I bought this at 12 years old, and it was
My dad
written
has that. I've read
in
it.
like 1983.
The year I was born.
So, like, it just is so weird that like I'm further away from this, and I remember it than I was like this when it came out. But yeah, this was so old school. And oh my gosh, I'm just so old to think that like these books have been in my possession for over 20 years. Like, that's just weird to think.
Yeah. It's weird to think. Sometimes I get really bent out of shape when it's like I've owned something for 20 years. I'm like, what do you mean?
Right? I'm not old enough to own something for 20 years. I don't feel like I'm that old yet.
That might have been my millennial moment. It might have been my millennial moment, but I thought of another one while you were talking, Steph. That I have clothing older than myself.
Oh.
Like, and then
Okay.
I also have clothing still from high school. Like that was I graduated 20 years ago this coming June.
Mhm.
During the shelter in place, or maybe right afterwards, I tried on my prom dress just for like shits and giggles.
I
Like
wish I still had mine to do that.
it was still in my closet. I was like, what if I put this on and I could start cosplaying in it or something?
So
Sit around and feel pretty.
I went back and went into my grade 8 grad dress, that pink one that you wore, Lindy, for prom.
Really, the one with the rose?
Yep,
Like,
I still have it. It's still in the closet, and
that
I
was
fit
tight on
into
me
it.
in high school.
It was well because I lost a bunch of weight during lockdown, so
Yeah.
because of all of the lack of eating out that I didn't do. That's literally, I actually had all of last year, Natalie. I've been having an issue with my heart because of the fact I stopped eating fast food. That's my joke.
Oh my gosh. Is that what's going to happen to me when I give it up again? Because I can go really long stretches without fast food. But now it's like an addiction. I'll just like think of a double cheeseburger all day long. And I'm like, I guess I gotta go get a fucking double cheeseburger.
Right? Exactly. I agree. It's like now I have a like prescription from a doctor that I need, but well, not literally, but this is my joke. I have a prescription from a doctor that I eat McDonald's every day so that I don't faint. I need to keep my sodium levels up.
It's for my mental health. I need a cheesy gordita crunch. I need it.
Right?
What is that?
Absolutely.
That sounds delicious.
Taco Bell.
Ooh,
Oh, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a Taco Bell in fucking forever. Like, I think I've only ever been to it like maybe once or twice in my life.
When I have to be in my office, the kitchen in our break area is so disgusting that I won't put food in it and then consume that food. So I eat out on my office days like a real bougie bitch, but I cannot afford it. It's just like, it's just me at the Taco Bell parking lot, like eating a cheesy gordita crunch, like making shifty eyes, hoping no one sees me.
So good. Ours are mixed. I don't know if yours are, but up here, ours are also mixed in with a KFC.
Sometimes we have that.
Okay, so like sometimes you'll go and you'll get your KFC and you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna go get myself another taco on the side just because I just need that little bit right now, you know.
When did KFC become so fucking depressing?
Oh,
I drove past it the other day and it was all fucking painted gray and charcoal and shit.
All of the fast foods,
Right.
all of them
Why
are
they
going
becoming
depressed.
adults?
All of them became depressed when we grew up. They became depressed.
listen, I went to a Taco Bell because I always go through the drive-through. I went into a Taco Bell before my therapy appointment, and they had like a touch screen. So like you could walk up to the live person, or else you could just use the robot. And I was like making eye contact with the person who's making $7 an hour, like putting my order in on the computer. Like, does this make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't like.
I can assure you that person behind the counter prefers you to use the robot.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right? Absolutely.
Sure.
The less they have to do for that. $7 an hour? Ridiculous.
Yes.
So yeah, because up here our minimum wage went
Went up to
$15 an hour. So a
Yes.
student, like a little high school kid working part-time, makes
they're at
$15
like 13,
an hour or $13
they're at like
an
13
hour.
something.
But
13.5, something like that. When I started working, it was
$6.45. $6.45 was the
was when I
first job
started.
I had as minimum wage. McDonald's.
I'm pretty sure it was around $7 when I was working at McDonald's in high school.
No,
And it's probably still, I live in the Midwest. It's probably like $8 now. Like I can't believe that it's gone up to a livable wage.
I was wrong because I forgot I worked at Filthy McNasty's before I worked at Sobeys, and it was $6.85 at Filthy's. That's a restaurant, by the way, not a strip club.
Yeah, not a strip club.
It could be both.
Right? It goes both
And
ways.
some nights it fucking
It was a bar downstairs.
So I had a millennial moment that surprisingly had nothing to do with food. We have the Super Bowl coming up, and one of my coworkers dropped in our group chat. She was like, look at the trailer for the Super Bowl party. So I click on it and Eminem comes up, and my whole body, like, it wasn't embarrassing. It's just like, it took me right back to being 14.
Right.
And I was like, Eminem, really? I thought Gen Z canceled you. And then Eminem faded into Dr. Dre. I had to get up out of my chair. Mary J. Blige came on, and I just start swaying. I'm like, oh, I need a bump and grind. And then it ends in like Kendrick Lamar. And I texted my friend because she is several years younger than me, and she's throwing our Super Bowl party. And I went, listen, my body will not be able to be appropriate during the halftime Super Bowl show. And I don't think you guys have seen bump and grind bloody 15-year-old Natalie, but it is a journey. It is a journey.
Amazing.
And I'm gonna pop, drop it, lock it, Dr. Dre. And I need you and Snoop Dogg. I forgot about Snoop.
Oh, okay. Did you see the like year-end review with Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart that they had on Peacock TV? I think it was or whatever. I saw it.
No,
I ended
but
up
I'll
catching it
watch
on.
it.
I caught it on YouTube. It's the funniest thing ever because there's these. I don't know who these two rappers are, but they just sing these Island Boy. It was like I don't know if it was a TikTok or something like that. And the look on their face when they're watching these, and because of course they're trying to be rappers, and Snoop Dogg is like, and Kevin Hart are like, what the fuck is happening to music nowadays? And just like, of course, this George is hilarious. I suggest both of you watch it if you want a good laugh. It is hilarious.
And what's this called?
It's just like the Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart like year end review 2021 or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll come up. Don't you
Fun
worry.
little tidbit of Snoop Dogg. I'm pretty sure one of his songs is going to be our wedding song when we get married.
Hell yes.
Right? Why not?
We've got it picked out for years.
My father and his longtime girlfriend are getting married, and I requested to walk down the aisle to Genuine's Pony. And
Yes.
I might refuse to walk down the aisle if that's not what's playing, but I might just stand there and wait. Like, excuse me.
I look forward to your Am I the Asshole entry on Reddit.
Right. Am I the asshole?
Lindy, if
Yeah.
I'm in the bridal party, can I walk down with them with like, can we do like Liquid Dreams or something like that?
Yeah.
O-Town? Come on. Just kidding. But it would be hilarious.
We'll talk about it. We'll
Okay.
talk about it.
Discussions.
With COVID and shit, it might have to wait till next year, but sure.
Right? It'd still
My
be
phone
funny.
has been playing.
We'll find a really inappropriate song.
Right? A very inappropriate.
My phone has been playing Amazon's rediscovered
Right.
2000s hip hop like 24/7. I was like, yes, I just need to be in that mindset, right?
I don't blame you. Like the whole month of January, because it's the blue month and everyone's just depressed and everything like that. I was listening. We usually listen to country music, and it was getting too real for me. So like one day, and my boyfriend used to listen to like 2000s and 90s hip hop. He used to be straight up gangster when he was in high school. So for me,
Seriously, Kevin?
seriously, Kevin, yeah,
Like
So-
white boy Kevin.
yeah, like
Okay.
Scottish, red hair, red beard, Kevin, yeah.
Did he grow up in the Midwest with us? Because that's our story. We were so gangster being very white children in
Right.
Indiana.
So
I was
I
a
was
teeny
like,
bopper, so
to make myself not depressed, I was like, I need to listen to 2000s hip hop. So I
Mhm.
put on 2000s hip hop, and I was just like, yes, this is it.
Yeah.
I can't be upset. I can't be depressed listening to this stuff. And he's like, but can we turn it off? Because I'm getting a little angry. Like it's making me a little angry. Right? I'm like, okay, we'll limit our hip hop for like a couple hours a day.
Kevin
That's
gets
why I-
angry. I get turned on. It's a journey.
It's a journey,
That's
right?
what
He
I
starts
usually-
good and then eventually gets too angry because he just, pop it and whatever. And yeah, it's so funny.
that's why I usually like go with like the first Britney album, the first
Mhm.
NSYNC album, the first Backstreet Boys, Hanson, Moffats. Fuck yeah.
Right, that would make sense.
Spotify doesn't have the Moffats.
Really?
I'm
Oh.
so upset by this. Or they don't have My Town, and they don't have Take Five's first album.
So I was looking up something the other day. It was No Authority. Do you remember this band?
Oh my god, yes.
I hadn't heard of them in years, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my god.
I could
No
not tell you a
Authority.
song, but I know who you were speaking of.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
A little group of 4 boys or something. Yeah. So back to
Back to
guess
the books.
back to the
Back to the
books.
books.
It's always fun with tangents here. We love tangents. It's okay.
Uh,
So I guess we'll start kind of with the giving tree.
sure.
Basic synopsis is there's a little boy and then there's a tree. The tree loves the little boy. The boy takes from the tree, and life proceeds, and the tree ends up giving so much that there's nothing left of her.
Uh-huh.
Except for the stump at the end for the old man, which was the little boy to sit
Sit
on.
Uh-huh. It's an allegory of every relationship I've been in. So
right? Like, come on.
I'd probably say me too up until this point as well.
Right?
Like before this relationship, I mean, up until my last one. I'd say so, yeah. You give and you give and you give and you give. They take.
I even have,
And
yeah.
what is
Yeah.
like-
I've had that even with friends too. It's not even just men. There's been friends that are like that too.
this
as
is
well.
yes, that's
So-
very true.
yes.
We've
I came out of the shelter in place, and I'm having such a culture clash, entering society with the people I once knew, because I'm like, is this how you always behaved? Is this how Was this the
Right?
caliber of people I hung out with? I just need to know. I was so disappointed that this book was written by Shel Silverstein because I had forgotten that part. I love Shel Silverstein.
Right, where the sidewalk ends and all of that,
Yes,
like
the
the
pizza
poems.
book,
Yeah.
like I
None of
love
that,
him. I love him. And this book,
I was probably your most reluctant reader when I was a kid. Fucking hated it. As an adult, like once I graduated high school and shit, and then like I discovered, actually I have to give credit of my love of reading to my grade 3-4 split class that I was in co-op in high school, because they got me to read Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter book when it came out, because the movie was coming out and I was just like, what the fuck, who is this Harry Potter and why is everyone fucking talking about him?
Yeah.
So one of them gave me the book and they're like, read it. I read it in one night and I'm like, guys, this is fucking amazing. I love this book.
you guys ever got
and it
books?
took off. And my fandom took off from there.
I was a huge reader as a kid. It's how I disassociated from whatever was happening around me. So
My sister was,
I was
a huge
very
reader.
social kid.
I
was a talks too much kid.
I liked doing the Pizza Hut Book It program, where every few books you read, you get the free personal pan pizza. That was my motivation to read.
My sisters did that. I did not want to partake.
I tried to convince my boss that we could instate some sort of pizza book it into the office. Like I do a thing, you buy me free pizza.
Self-development or professional development. Every professional book you read, you bring in a pizza for everybody. Why not?
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Right?
I am personally insulted that the tree is a woman and that they use she, her pronouns for the tree.
Yeah.
So you can't even ignore that she's a woman.
Yep. Yep. And of course, as women, we're always supposed to give and give and give of ourselves. Apparently.
All those thoughts were running through my head as I was watching the YouTube video because I had never read them before.
On our podcast, a huge theme that we talk about on To All the Men I've Tolerated Before is women's invisible emotional and mental labor in every relationship that they're in. So like the boy's playing and he's happy, and the minute he goes away, she's like, well, is he still happy? How will I know? Why do we care? Why do we care? He'll make his own happiness when he's away from you.
Yeah. He's an adult. He can provide for himself. He can make his own
No,
money,
most of them can.
I mean,
for the other ones, let's just not talk
certain
about
specific
that.
exes, not so much.
Right?
Yes.
We've all had those few that just damn exes.
We have all had that parent-child relationship with an ex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For fuck's sakes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, yep. Come on, parents, raise your children better.
I will own it.
Be self-sufficient.
I was a very codependent dater. I couldn't help it. Like I had to be the person like me, like, are you happy? Do you need food? Did I make you happy? And like, I blame this book. I blame it because she's like, here, have some apples. Will the apples make you happy? Here, take my leaves. Will my leaves make you happy?
Yeah, here's
my branches.
Yeah.
Like
literal parts
take
of
my
her.
Parts of her are being cut.
Take my whole entire like core and being to make a house.
Not to mention, she allowed him to scar her at the very beginning with
he branded her. God damn it!
He branded her,
right?
Or he carved it into her fucking flesh.
And
like, what is that? Is that telling women to go out and be a man's property? Is that what this book is about?
Yeah.
Now remember, this
That's
is
what I took from it.
Now, also from hindsight, it is 1964, so of course it's supposed to seem like it's very nurturing and
I'm discovering this book as an adult for the first time, not a child. So
50, 60 years later as well.
Yeah. So like at the time when you read it, Natalie, do you remember your feelings at the time?
I remember that this book was presented as one of those like and I feel like we still advertise it that way, as this warm, gushy, like, this is how you share lovingly, and sharing is caring, and you should, like, this is how you're selfless.
The lesson learn is sharing almost.
Yeah. Hot take. I'm not into being selfless. I'm not into
selfless is dumb. Or like, I'm not. No.
It feels very
I lost my thought. I'm sorry.
I remember when I was like 19 to like 22, people used to call me selfish. And I was like, that was the worst thing in the world. Oh my God, like selfish. I don't want to be selfish. Like selfish is a terrible thing. And then once I started to realize that these people weren't caring about like what I was doing in my life, they weren't helping me
Mm-hmm.
forego my life. I was like, well, no, I wasn't being selfish. I was just looking after myself, and you guys aren't even here anymore. So after my, so you know what? Selfish is not a bad fucking word. And then after like 25, I was like, okay, fuck that. Selfish is okay.
Cutting
Right.
toxicity out of
Right.
your life is not selfish.
Right. But
It's
apparently
a
some people think
necessity.
it is selfish because they
My
think it's
best friend
selfish
and
because
I
it doesn't benefit them.
my best friend and I have started like telling one another, like, hey, how was your night with so and so last night? And I'll even go, you know what? It was a net profit. Or I'll be like, you know what? Came back home deficit. Like, that's a no. We can't be doing that anymore.
I
And I feel
saw
like that goes against the giving tree because she's just like giving it up for free, which we were told not to do as children, as women. We were
right.
told not to give it up for free. We
No.
were told to give it up for marriage.
Yeah.
For the right one.
Yeah.
Right?
Get
The
married,
right
have
one.
children, the right one. Yep. The soulmate or whatever it was.
And giving what up? Their fucking made up bullshit virginity crap? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which we know, yeah, now doesn't really fucking matter. It's the
Like,
purity. You're no longer
you,
pure.
patriarch.
Yeah.
The little boy never says thank you or talks nicely to this tree once
So
in the book.
No, ever.
So notice
He
that.
just keeps taking, and he's rude.
And I'm just like, you would not fucking survive 10 minutes in my goddamn house.
No, he's real passive aggressive about everything too. Like he just like slumps over and he's like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Do you
I'm
know what, who
helpless.
he reminds me of? Like the guy that plays like the wounded puppy dog.
Uh-huh.
So his girl bathes him and feeds him and loves him and clothes him, and then the second he's all better, he's up and humping something else, and she's at home not knowing any better.
Mm-mm.
That is what this book fucking tells me, but reading it for the first time as 38 years old.
Yeah.
So, but
And
still.
then after she's given him everything, all that's left of her is a stump, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I think I need a stump to just sit
He
down
still
on."
sits
and
on.
it's and then she straightens up because it makes her happy.
Yes. Like
The fuck? Like,
what is this story? He
I
just
need
like
to
this
know
stuff.
that this book is still taught in classrooms. Like it's still in classroom libraries. And I think the Giving Tree should make the
Okay.
banned book list.
if there are any teachers who are our listeners, please let us know if this is on your curriculum and what you think of it. Please, because
Please.
I would be very interested to know. Because to me, this book is not encouraging of friendly nature. It's literally telling you to just be some guy's fucking tree stump. Like,
Or just some friends, it's okay to take,
know what I
take, and
mean?
some friends are I'll take giving. Like,
yeah, you give, and people will love you.
Yes.
No, love
No.
is not all give and no take.
yeah,
It is two-way street, yo.
yeah, collaboration.
Otherwise, it's called unrequited love, and it can lead to some very nasty, violent things.
Yes, yes, we see it all
Just
the
saying.
time.
Just saying, listen to a lot of true crime. So,
Yes, that's
especially
very
one
much
specifically related
unrequited
to
life.
love. There's a lot, and it's sad. Moving
Which
on.
is disgusting.
Disgusting. But I mean, yeah, like the theme goes like sharing, give of yourself, give yourself, give yourself. And it's the same theme in the next book.
Yes, the next book is the exact same theme.
This
Go ahead.
message of like you have to shape shift to make the people around you comfortable. Like that was a huge trend in my childhood.
Mhm.
And like huge trend in the new Disney movie Encanto, where it's like you're just like trying to make yourself fit into this mold that makes everyone else happy. And it's like she literally cuts off parts of herself until that idiot is comfortable.
Mm.
I haven't watched it yet,
Me
so
neither.
I'm not really into the new Disney movies. I think the newest one I've ever seen, or the newest one I've seen, would be the first Frozen.
Onward is
Like-
funny. Go watch
Pardon?
Onward. Onward? That one's a good one because it's like
Onward?
Seth Rogen, I believe,
Yeah.
is the voice.
Is that the one with No,
The
that's
blue,
Luca.
they're like the blue guys or something like that.
Yeah.
They're kind of like they do like a cross country chip or something like that.
It's like a
Oh, I think it's on
Disney-
my list.
It's a
I
good
think
one.
it's on my watch list.
That was a good one.
I think I
But
have it on
no
my
one
list.
cuts themselves up in
Anyway.
Encanto. I still went right back to the tree. But yeah, it's like we can't just be fitting ourselves into these little molds to make other people comfortable.
Yeah.
No, you don't have. That goes back to like actually our TGIF episode stuff when we were talking about Family Matters and Urkel and his cool machine,
Yeah.
where it's like you completely change who you are, your personality, your looks, everything about you.
And
So
she
that girl
marries
that you love will fall in
Stefan.
love with you.
And she married
Was it
him.
Stefan? I was trying
It
to
was
recall.
Stefan.
It.
Yeah.
He ruined the show.
Yeah.
Did. It was so
Really
I never
did.
understood
No
it.
one wanted Urkel to be cool. That wasn't the
No.
point of the show.
Exactly.
No.
The like, yeah, it just it fucking irks me to no end that there are things out there that are like the Giving Tree that is just, you know, and Rainbow Fish where it's just
Mhm.
like change who you are, give. Like, don't expect anything in return because that makes you selfish. Like, fuck you, be a little selfish.
You're supposed to be selfless, apparently. Like,
Ugh.
come on, guys. Come. Ugh.
Hate it.
I enjoy being selfish once in a while. As long as your selfishness doesn't actually really harm anybody else.
Yeah.
Like skipping a night out with your friends is not gonna kill them. Like it's
But-
fine.
And sometimes it may harm them, but if it harms them, then like that's something that's on them. Because like if you need to say something because it's setting up a boundary for you, and they get mad at you because you have to set up a boundary, well then that's on them. Then they're not really like a good person or a good friend that would respects a boundary. Like
Learn to recognize toxicity in a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Learn to read when you are giving more than you are being given.
mhm.
On to the next, Rainbow Fish. I mean,
Rainbow
sounds
Fish.
like a really cute little book, and
It does like,
Like,
Rainbow.
whatever.
The cover has like
And
a
it's
shimmery,
pretty.
glittery fish on it. I
It's
thought it had
super
potential,
pretty.
but
but
no,
in
it didn't.
crap.
my
Took a turn for the
opinion,
worst.
I'm watching this on YouTube, okay? So I'm watching a video and and someone's reading it to me. And I'm sitting here thinking all the way through it. Like it starts out with the rainbow fish being really conceited.
A
Yeah,
little.
Like just
He's a prick.
just a prick. Yeah, he's just an
a prick.
asshole. Like, I'm beautiful. How dare you talk to me and ask for one of my scales? Like, sorry, but who teaches their tiny little baby fish to go up to another big fish and ask them for one of their fucking scales? Here, let me just skin
Who
some
are these
skin off
fish?
and give it to you.
Right?
Like, who does that?
No
Like,
idea.
not only your expression says everything.
And then when he's a prick, but he's a prick who tries to establish boundaries. So he
Right.
tries to establish a boundary and he's like, no, I do not believe that you get one of my fins. And then he's ostracized.
Yes.
It's like being in an abusive, toxic family. You're ostracized for being the one that sets up a boundary.
Like, I don't even know what to say.
Oh,
Sorry
and then
about
I think at one point she said they get to like they kind of make a point that like scales are better than friends in happiness. So you have to give a scale away. Like that didn't
Like,
it's like what?
okay, I understand where they were going with it when he eventually felt that giving away one of his scales made him feel good.
Right.
And so he kept doing it. And
Yes.
that is generally
Yeah.
a good lesson to learn, that it does feel great to give. Like I
Yes.
feel great whenever like I'm donating to charity or I volunteer my time or things
yeah.
like that. Like it makes me feel good because there is no such thing as a selfless good deed.
We
Because
learned
giving
this
does
on
make
Friends.
you feel good. And
Right.
I get that. But he was basically kind of coerced, manipulated, and indoctrinated into doing it.
That fucking octopus.
That fucking octopus.
That fucking octopus reminded me of when my parents would just like beg me to be nice to boys who were barely nice to me so I would get to date people.
What?
Like my parents would be like, I don't
Just give 'em
understand
what they
why you're
want.
complaining. He's so nice. I'm like, he's not nice.
Yeah, he was
Dude,
just like, oh, give the
no.
people what they want and then they'll appreciate you.
It really it felt like I was bartering with my body and my sexuality. Like it took me right into that place where like my body is a product that I can weaponize to get love out of people. And I was like, oh, there it is. That
Yep,
fucking
there it is.
octopus.
Fucking octopus.
Goddamn octopus.
Oh god.
Yeah, like I just don't understand why these books are so revered within the educational system.
No,
Are there not better books that give better lessons?
That would teach better. Like, especially, I'm pretty sure there's some that are written like almost every day now. Like, why can't we get rid of some of the
I mean, they
older
already
ones?
dumped a bunch of Dr. Seuss books, but the rest of his books are really good lessons to learn.
Right.
So the Rainbow Fish used to be a show that I would have to work when I was working in theater. And I had to like, I didn't have to come up with the curriculum guide because it was a repeated show. So I just had to review the curriculum guide. But I remember telling my boss, I was like, I don't know, the Rainbow Fish just makes me really uncomfortable. And he goes, why? I go, it's just like, it's really just about like conformity and not being an individual and like bartering your body to like make friends. And like, it's just got codependent vibes. And he's like, I really feel like you're reading too much into this book about a fish. And I was like, but do you see how I was raised with this book? And I have a list of unacceptable traits that I bring into every relationship. Like when you put the Rainbow Fish on top of the Giving Tree on top of Dr. Seuss's racist books or whatever, like you're just not learning great things. Like,
we were just screwed from the beginning, guys. Millennials just
we literally had no fucking chance.
No one was editing these books, so we were mentally well. No one.
Right?
This is why millennials have so many mental issues.
Yes.
This is why we need safe
And
spaces and
dependency
therapy
issues, trust issues, sharing issues. I fucking hate sharing. I always thought it was because I was born on Canada Day and I had to share my birthday with Canada. I love my birthday. My birthday is all about me. I'm one of those girls that celebrates my birthday for a whole fucking week. Well, I used to be, not anymore. But
it's still a day all about you no matter what.
Yes,
I agree.
But I always thought it was because of that. Maybe it's because of this. And it was just like subconscious in my mind of all of these books that I read as a child or that was read to me as a child is the reason why I don't like to share.
So I have to share my birthday with Jesus. So I understand the sharing trauma.
My grandmother did too, and she hated it. Yeah.
Jesus. So that's always hard. But my favorite thing to do in my spare time is to find articles about why sharing is actually detrimental to kids because of the way that we teach about sharing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't teach about sharing in a way where it's like you choose to give your toy to your friend because you want that to happen. It's sharing is caring. It's something that good people do. If you don't share, you're bad. And that's it. And then kids like develop all of these weird like concepts about sharing that then translates into consent where you're not really allowed to say no to anything. And then I just like send these articles to people and I was like, see, I was never selfish all along. I just wanted no to mean no. That's what I wanted.
It's kind of the same thing with us being raised as like respect your elders and blah 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 blah. Don't disrespect an elder and don't say no to an elder and things like that. That's how so many of us got fucking kidnapped.
Yeah.
Because even though you taught us stranger danger, you still taught us to respect our elders, don't talk back, just respect them as authority and do what they say. And now we're teaching kids to have their own self autonomy. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Autonomy. Yeah. Having their own autonomy and having a say in who they hug, even including grandparents.
Yeah.
Like it's an entirely new way of raising kids. And I'm actually looking forward to see how they turn out because they're getting a lot of shit right now. But I think in the long run, these new lessons that we've learned did not work for us. Hopefully it works for them.
Right. And the whole sharing thing, I'm an adult who still hates sharing.
Ditto.
And there's nothing I hate sharing more than with a child because they're disrespectful of your things.
They do destroy
I can't eat a
all
brownie.
your stuff.
I can't eat a brownie in peace without my stepkids asking if they can have one.
But
they're
like
disrespectful. When I was a kid, we had family friends who had children who were like 5 years younger than my sister and I. And so much of my shit would just get broken because it's like, well, you have to play with them and you have to share with them and they have to destroy all of your things. And I was like, and I told my dad over the summer that that's why I don't want to have kids. I was like, maybe if you didn't make me hang out with them, you would get grandchildren. I don't know. Right? You could have done better.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And then one thing I
That's
also
totally
found
true.
at the end is when like the other fishes, they all ask for their share of his golden one. Not one of them like offers to give him something in return for this, or
No.
not one of them is like, you know what? I don't need to have a shimmering scale to be like the rest of you. I just still want to be me. Why do they all just take and all need to be the exact same, but just take from this poor shimmering fish?
And I don't think any of them said thank you either.
Right?
None
That
of them did.
nothing in return, no thank yous, no nothing. They just nothing.
Just got the approval of that creepy octopus.
Fucking octopus. That's what we should call this episode. That fucking octopus.
Octopus.
Fucking
Yeah.
Fucking octopus.
I think that's a great episode title.
Okay.
Just like came out from the deep.
Yeah,
was like-
and his eyes are like on the top of his head, where we all know that they're not. That is not where octopus eyes are.
They're on
Right?
the
Are they like on the side? Like
On
right
the
above the
side.
tentacles? Like they're
on
like this.
squids. They're on the side. I'm not even convinced. Yeah,
I'm gonna
well,
fucking Google
they're not
search
on
a
the
goddamn
top.
octopus.
I think with octopus,
Because I'm thinking back to fucking that octopus scene with in Popeye,
Mhm.
Robin Williams.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because you see the octopus in that scene. I'm also trying to think back to Goonies, but I don't think they show the octopus in Goonies.
so I think with giant squids, they're on the side, and I think with octopus, they're like.
Is it
it's hard to say
octopi?
in the middle of their head
Octopi.
because there's like no mouth, like the mouth is on the bottom of them, and there's no nose, but it's still just engorfed in the head. It's not chilling on top.
Okay.
They're kind of weird.
So
but they look
like,
Yeah, like that.
yeah, like that. So they're
But
like
it
at the
looks like
front
this.
with like the big hump behind them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And that's what it looks like
Yeah.
in the rainbow fish.
In
And
the
that
rainbow
is not
fish.
what octopuses look like. Octopi?
No.
Octopi.
Octopi
Octopuses sounds really wrong.
just coming
Octopussy?
out,
Like
the-
octopussy.
just to like
Out of the
just
ink.
to like lay down some codependency knowledge. Like, hey kid,
Yeah.
this is how you make
Just give him
friends.
pieces of your body.
And it's funny because he's like purple as well, which usually I know in like a lot of movies or Disney's, like the dark shades of purple or things like that
Mhm.
tend to be the evil
The
characters.
Yes.
villain.
So is that really what they were trying to do? Make him a villain to, make him give him
Well,
of himself,
He had to
Not.
find him in this creepy dark cave.
right?
He like lives in the
Mhm.
dark. Dark equals evil. So I
Right.
mean, I've seen enough Supernatural to know that. So just saying.
Just
I mean,
saying.
there's a reason their eyes go black when they're demons. Like
I'm telling you, these books fucked me up.
they fucked up a lot. I'm really glad I don't remember these. If they were ever read to me, I'm really glad I don't remember them,
Well,
to be honest.
and I think it's because I've taught and I've been a nanny and I worked in child theater, and they just like keep popping up for me. And I'm like, are we still doing this? Are we still traumatizing children with
I-
these two books?
Think it's time to start a petition.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, banning books is like all the rage right now. Let's throw these two in.
Just canceling everything. Let's cancel these two.
Just saying.
Just saying.
I mean, like, what's that saying from that thing in that movie? I think you can't beat them, join them. What's that thing? Is that the saying? But yeah, you can't beat them, join them. Just throw in those two books with them.
I hate them. When I think you had the rainbow fish on your like master list. I had like a physical reaction. I was like, I can talk for an hour about how the rainbow fish made me mentally ill. I could just go.
Right? I
No, go ahead, Steph.
that spreadsheet just was like I was kind of like how it first kind of started. I was like, well, it was like first I started with a book with like, oh, like these we could do these episodes. And I was like, okay, well then there's an idea. And so that spreadsheet just became like
Mhm.
a thing. And I was like, so that's just where we could, we'll just go from there.
You know what
Yeah.
we should do? We should print out like a large print of our spreadsheet. And then every week we just throw a dart at it.
A dart at it.
Ooh.
And then
Start
just
choosing a topic.
that's how we pick a topic.
we could fill it up some more and do it. I think so. Like, I think we could do it.
I think that would be a fun game.
I think so.
Like, what topic are we gonna do next week? I don't know. Pick up a dart.
Right?
Close your eyes.
Make sure no one's in the way.
Make sure the dogs are outside.
Yes. We don't want any accidental injuries.
No. That's why I like that in that scene of Shaun the Dead where he gets like the dart in the head,
Yeah.
and when he pulls it out and you have that like squirt of blood. Like, I'm really curious to know if that's what actually happens, or is that just what they guessed because they didn't actually want to try. I couldn't figure it out.
I just guess.
The shit I think about. I'm sorry. It's these books. I tell you, books fucked us up as kids.
They did.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Are there any others that stick out in your mind?
No, what I was trying to think of that too. If it's
I know, me
literally just
too. I was like
Rainbow
looking at the
Fish and the
list.
Giving Tree. But I really just think that these two just like really hit it on the head where it's like you have no body autonomy. You can't be an individual. People will hate you. And like I'm grappling with that today as a 33-year-old who like wants a podcast and to build a brand and whatnot. And I'm like living in the Midwest and like I just like feel people rolling their eyes at me when I talk about it. Like, ooh, she's so fancy. But I can't think of any other books. I just remember that I hate these books. I have a very physical reaction to these
I
books.
liked The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales.
I loved that was a book that I
That
would
was,
read every night before I
yeah.
went to bed.
I actually still have it in one of my boxes somewhere.
I have it on my bookshelf too because I stole it from a school that I worked at.
I think mine is my copy from the 90s, so it's a super old copy, but it still is in great condition, which is hilarious. So
Another millennial trend I loved as a kid was when they would take the villain of the story. And I think this is starting to come back and give the side of their story, like the true story of the three little pigs. And it's from the wolf's point of view.
Like
Yep.
the Grimm brothers versions.
Yeah.
We're like in Cinderella, to get her daughter's feet to fit in the glass slippers, she cut off like their toes and their heels.
She sure did.
Body autonomy right fucking there. No, you're marrying this prince. I'm gonna cut off your fucking feet so you fit in those goddamn glass slippers. How about you just remember her face?
But I can't attribute anything in the Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales into fucking me up.
No, they were just an amazing book. That's the one
They're
one
just
book I
real
do
witty.
remember.
So
It's
for
great.
someone who wasn't literary as a child, I do remember one book that I did read, and I can't seem to like find it anywhere, probably because I can't really remember the name, but it was like the School of Wayward something, where like the school was upside down.
Wayside School is Falling Down.
Yes,
I love it.
That
I
one.
loved it.
I loved those ones. Those ones were great. I loved those fucking books.
The other one that also I couldn't do like as a kid because it was just a little too much was The Love You Forever, Robert Munch. I love Robert Munch, but that one was still just a little too
I
emotional
really
for me,
like
even as a
that
kid.
one. And I think the story's really great. I think the illustrations are kind of creepy.
I think it's creepy when the guy puts his own mom in his lap. I'm just gonna say it. That part's creepy.
Yeah.
Don't put your mom in
Like-
your lap. Don't do that.
But you know what? Okay, so like how old is this book? Like this book was out like before we were born, yes? Like 70s, I think, late 70s.
I think that one was. Yeah, I think that was one of his first ones.
So was there a generation thing there that might have been a possibility?
86.
Cradling 86, so I was 3. Cradling your mother in your lap. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I can appreciate the sentiment of it.
Yeah. But also, do we have to go that deep with a children's book? Like, what are we
This
doing?
is true.
That's what I mean. Like I just felt like as a kid, it seemed even as a child, it felt too emotional for me. Like I wasn't ready to process it when I was hearing it at the time.
Yeah. And not every book had to have a lesson either. I mean, there's a lot of Dr. Seuss books that did not have lessons at all, like Hop on Pop. What was the lesson on that?
Right.
Maybe Red Fish, Two Fish would have taught you how to count and distinguish colors, but that was it.
Green Eggs and Ham, same thing. Just,
I like Green Eggs and Ham.
Exactly. But there's no point, it's just fun.
That was a good movie too.
It's
Definitely not based on the book.
No.
Yeah. Like we don't have to go that deep with kids' books. It tried to handle death and aging.
Right.
It reinforced that narrative that we have to be like self-serving to our parents and like obedient and make sure that we make up to them the fact that they had to like keep us alive for 18 years, where it's like, I didn't ask to be here. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I didn't ask to be born.
And
I guess go ahead.
Sometimes you have family issues where you just need to take time away from your parents for a little bit. It's not saying I don't love you, but like sometimes I see some other families or things like this where it's like, it doesn't matter. We're family and we're going to resolve this. And it's like, no, sometimes I need like maybe a few months away from you for me to process myself before we can resolve our family issues. That's fine. Or sometimes it's years. Who knows what the family issues are, whatever.
Just trying
to
be well.
There's always that mentality of we're family, so we have to stick together. And sometimes that's nice, but sometimes also it could be a mad mentality of people who are like, no, I need to separate myself from my family because they're, sometimes it's damaging.
And I think the narrative that is out in society today about toxic relationships and the effect it can have on your mental health and things like that. I think that millennials and younger are really starting to recognize that in their life, and they're really starting to make a change in that aspect. Whereas in like the older generations, they're still kind of stuck in like, family is family. You do this for blood and blah, 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 whatever. It's like, no, like your family isn't necessarily who you're related to. Your family is who you make in your family. And you know who I think taught us that? Dom Toretto.
Harry Potter.
Dom Toretto. Family.
Fast and the Furious, yo. Too
Yeah, we had a Fast and Furious like marathon this weekend. So family, yo. That's the code you live by. And they're not all blood related. Only Dom and Mia are. I keep calling her Maya.
I truly believe that I've only watched half of 3 of the Fast and Furious movies, and I can't even recall which 3. I know that I
haven't seen the 9th yet.
I know that I fell asleep during the Hobbs and Shaw one and woke up from a pretty substantial nap, and it was still happening. And I was like, why is this?
Was it the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff? Or was
the one with just,
or was it the one where they were all in it with Hobbs and Shaw?
No, it was the spin-off with
that's
just
not counted as a Fast and Furious movie. We don't count that one.
Then I guess it's 2.
That's just another Dwayne Johnson Statham movie.
I love Jason Statham.
Me too.
Love him.
I think he's pretty amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, check out Death Race.
I would love Jason Statham to read to me The Rainbow Fish in his like.
Wouldn't that be great though,
really
in his
ridiculous
accent?
dialect?
Probably have to fight his girlfriend for him.
Probably.
She doesn't seem like much of a fighter. Just saying. Jason Momoa is now a free man.
Right? And every girl.
We all have a shot now.
I know.
We've all got a shot.
It was funny that like the minute I saw that post come up, and I was like, I just heard collective screams, and like I can hear every you know it.
All
like,
girls just fucking like jizz their pants
at the exact same moment when they
the
read
time.
it, like all across the world.
It was like collective around the world.
It was collective. They're all just like, oh.
They all just went.
Exactly.
I look forward to meeting Jason Momoa on Hinge.
Right. Raya as well.
Raya.
This is apparently the celebrity or high-end dating app.
Get me that blue check mark on Instagram so I can be on Raya.
Right, exactly. That's what we're doing.
That's what Raya is?
Yeah, it's an online
it's a dating app
celebrity
for celebrities.
high-end dating app.
But really just like unemployed DJs out of LA.
Pretty much.
It's really
or a bunch of waitresses who are actresses.
So
out
anybody who has the blue check mark on Insta or Twitter
can go to it, yes.
So is one of the questions when you sign up, like, how many followers do you have?
I have no idea. I know that
how do they check this?
I don't have any followers, so we don't know. We're not on Raya.
It's called Raya. And the only reason I know so much about it is because Nicole Byers talks about it on Why Won't You Date Me all the time. Because
Bobby Lee always used to talk about it on his podcast. That's how
long did it take Bobby Lee to get on Raya?
I don't know. He didn't talk about how long it took to get on it, but him and his girlfriend would just talk about it all the time
because it took Nicole Byer like 3 years and multiple recommendations. What? Oh yeah. Wow. Because the algorithm be racist and fat phobic.
Of course.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, I'm spelling it completely wrong.
She goes, I get on there with DJs.
Private membership-based social network application for iOS first launched in 2015.
Oh, and you have to also have an Apple. You can't have Android.
Platform, iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch. Sorry, I'm sticking with my fucking Android.
Right? I hate Apple.
Ooh, Channing Tatum's on it.
He is on it. Yeah,
he's on it.
Was on it at one point.
Channing Tatum is on it after the divorce. I think Nicole Byer was trying to match with him.
Oh my God, this is hilarious. I'm sorry, when did Channing Tatum and Jessie J date?
Not long after the divorce, or like
in November of 2019 is when they split.
Yeah, so it was right after
the
divorce.
That's divorce. So funny. I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. I don't know her. I know Lena Dunham is on it. Simone Biles is on it. Drew Barrymore. I thought she was married. I don't know who that is.
iCarly is on it.
Loved who?
iCarly. What's
Oh,
iCarly?
I love her, Miranda Cosgrove. I love
Miranda Cosgrove.
her.
She talks about it on her episode of Whitney Cummings, and then Whitney like swipes for her.
I haven't seen any of that because I don't have the streaming service for that show. Oh, John Mayer's on it. Surprise, surprise. She were. Ooh, I know her too. Joe Jonas. He's married. Oh, this was before he was married. He was on it.
Joe Jonas, take yourself off.
Take yourself off there.
But
What's
I'm just
going on?
like, oh, he probably is. It was an article about stars who were on it. But,
Oh, who were?
but I'm just like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I can use that as my millennial moment. I don't know who any fucking celebrity is.
There you go. There's your millennial moment. Don't know any new celebrities.
I don't watch award shows anymore. I don't watch the music award shows.
They're so boring.
Anything, because I'm like, who the hell are you? Like, who are you?
And especially in a time of COVID, they're not very entertaining anymore.
No.
Like,
so
did you
boring.
watch the fucking Times Square New Year's ball drop today? Like, not the Dick Clark's one.
No.
There was another one. I'm just like, oh my God, this is fucking boring.
No, could not do it.
Me
No.
neither.
I just don't like people enough to be in crowds anymore.
I would never do that anyways, Times Square. It's just it's just too much.
It's cliche.
Yeah.
And it's always a letdown, according to How I Met Your Mother.
Well, then.
I am watching How I Met Your Father because I love Hilary Duff. I will watch anything Hilary Duff is doing.
Did you watch How I Met Your Mother first?
I believe I watched, I don't know if I've seen every episode, but I watched it when it was syndicated. Hated How I Met Your Mother. I hated Ted. I hated Robin. I hated it. But I love Hilary Duff.
Slightly offended with the Robin just because she's the the Canadian, and I totally love her for her Canadianisms. But
I do like that she was a former Canadian.
I understand your Ted-isms though. After watching it later, I can understand why you get annoyed by Ted.
Yes,
I can understand.
His neuroses.
Yes.
Neuroses.
Yeah.
Definitely can take your toll. However, the one, like, I love Barney. I fucking love Marshall.
Barney.
Hilarious.
I love Marshall.
The one I have my biggest issue with is Lily. She's such a she just butts in her nose in everything. What is it? Starts with an M. What is that? She meddles. She's a meddler. She meddles in absolutely everything, and she thinks she knows what's best for absolutely everyone. And I can't fucking stand Lily.
Yeah.
Like, and especially, have you gotten to season 9?
Is that
last season?
They get divorced, or is that the last season?
It's the last season where Marshall and Lily have that huge fight in the hotel room right before he finds out that she's pregnant, where she's like, "I've never been that selfish to you," for taking the judgeship behind her back.
She went to San Francisco.
And then he brings up San Francisco, and she goes, "That was 7 years ago. You're telling me you never forgave me for that?" And I'm like, just because he forgave you for that doesn't mean it doesn't apply to any of your past selfish acts.
Yeah,
you still fucked off and left him to San Francisco.
None of those people should have been dating, and that's why I didn't get on board with the show. I was like, I don't like any of these people, and I definitely don't like them together.
I love the show so much, Natalie. I have watched the entire all 9 seasons 27 times.
I mean, I believe you. I'm not a big rewatcher of things.
It's all I do. It's all I do. I find something I like and I watch it obsessively.
I don't reread anything anymore. There's so much content to just be taken.
Oh my gosh, I know what you mean. Yes.
That it's
yeah.
I can't be doing it. But I am watching How I Met Your Father because I love everything about Hilary Duff.
I really want to see that, but I have no streaming service for that.
I love her.
What it's on.
It's on Hulu.
Crave. Our Crave
up here. Okay.
Ours is Crave. We don't have Hulu out here, I don't think.
Oh.
Does Canada have Hulu?
There's no
I don't
Canada
think
Hulu?
so. I don't
know. I don't think so.
I've been wanting it forever, but I don't know if we ever actually officially got it.
Because I know How I Met Your Father was like on my smart TV, it has like ads that scroll through the top, and it said How I Met Your Father on fucking Crave.
I used to
and
watch...
my dad doesn't have his Crave account anymore.
Oh yeah, we'd have to get a VPN to watch it up here.
I used to watch the Younger show that had Hilary Duff and Sutton Foster because I'm also in love with Sutton Foster. She's my favorite Broadway actress. And was the show good?
I know that name. Why do I know that name? I know that name.
She was in
Bunheads. Say that again.
She was in Bunheads.
Bunheads.
Didn't watch it.
Was
the ballerina show that never
with
took
Emily
off.
Gilmore as the one girl?
No, I think I saw like maybe the first 2 episodes of it.
Well, she was
so good.
But I think I just saw something with her in it because her name sounds super familiar. Sutton Foster?
Yeah.
Foster. Right now she's on Broadway.
Yes.
The music band with her and Hugh Jackman.
Oh, I looked her up when I watched fucking Gilmore Girls again.
Yep.
The last year of Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
I don't need your validation. Go. I looked her up. I looked her up
episode.
because I thought her song for Stars Hollow would have been in Spotify, like
Mhm.
under her name, but I can't find that song for Stars Hollow anywhere. Either the
Me too.
Stars Hollow or the one that makes Lorelai cry. I can't find either of them.
I loved that episode. Everyone gave that episode so much shit, and I was like,
I
no,
loved it.
I love
That
when
was
we have a
great.
musical for no reason.
Yes. I loved that. Thought it was great.
Yeah.
Who are you, Sam, Dean, or Jess?
I love Jess to
Me
the
too.
point where I can't get over This Is Us, and I just like weep because now he's a grown up and he's dead and all of it.
I haven't seen
Yeah, I
This
never
Is
watched
Us
it.
yet
I'm
because
not-
everyone says it's a cry fest, and I don't know if I can prepare myself because
You're a bit emotional, are you,
a bit
Steph?
emotional sometimes. So
love
I've just
This Is Us.
decided I don't want to put myself in that position to watch This Is Us, knowing I'm gonna cry every episode. Because
No, it's emotional terrorism.
when
It's emotional
Caitlin
terrorism.
cries watching it, my friend who's like emotionally no one
Mhm.
cries during
Kate
it. Yes,
cries?
cries. I think she said she's
Wow,
cried
I've never
during
seen her
it.
cry.
So
Well,
when
that's
I-
why. That's also why I never watched. What's the 13 one?
13.
13 Reasons Why.
13 Reasons Why. Yeah,
Oh.
With the
I never watched
dumpster
that one
fire.
either. Cause like, or like Handmaid's Tale. Cause like I can't mentally prepare myself for something that emotional.
Handmaid's
Like-
Tale is rough because it very much reflects where we're headed in
Yep.
America as a society. And then,
I don't think Canada's that far behind you.
well, that's unfortunate because
Have you seen what's
were-
going on right now in Canada?
No,
Fuck.
that's
Yeah, but it's-
unfortunate.
It has
I-
nothing to do with their reproductive rights. It's
No,
mostly just
no,
the
but
convoy
there's-
right now.
There's always a stepping stone.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Anyways, continue.
Handmaid's Tale is rough because they do such a great job of reminding you that this could literally happen in a matter of days.
Mhm.
You could literally wake up, and this is the world.
That's scary.
It's
Yeah.
also filmed 20 minutes away from here in
Yeah.
Cambridge.
That's
Yeah.
true.
13 Reasons Why, a dumpster fire. Did not cry once because it is so outlandishly done. And it
Okay.
is so ridiculous.
I haven't seen that one either.
I know I've moved beyond the emotional shows. Like
Yeah.
the last time I got super emotional was when we watched John Wick. Have you seen it?
That's the one with the dog,
The
right?
dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I had such an unexpected emotional reaction because I didn't know that this happened. I'd seen the memes and stuff, but never really understood because I had never seen it, right? I was so fucking mad. I was beyond mad. I'd never been so emotional. I was sobbing. Like my eyes were so puffy. Do we have any last final thoughts about these books?
Don't
Just
read
that
them
they
to your
suck.
kids.
Don't read them. Yeah, don't
Yes.
fucking read them to your kids.
Change.org. Let's put on maybe a cancellation list or something.
Yeah, let's get them out of schools. Like,
Yeah.
let's throw those on the bandwagon too.
Right?
Mhm.
I think
We've got to
so.
be able to find something new that's better about sharing that doesn't hurt kids like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we have to.
Well,
Or we'll
and
just write a book ourselves.
we could do that.
Right?
Well, Natalie, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening to us babble and joining in on
No
that babble.
problem.
Yes.
Thank you
Would
so
you
much
like
for
to-
having me.
Where can our listeners find you?
So the podcast is called To All the Men I've Tolerated Before. We release episodes every Thursday. We just did one on writing sex novels, and this upcoming one is about generational trauma. So we run the gamut.
Right?
Nice.
But it's a podcast that explores how, because we live in a patriarchal society, sometimes it just really affects us and we have to grow. And then you can find us on Instagram at Men I've Tolerated Before Pod. You can find me at Natalie K124. And that's also my TikTok where I make fun videos about the podcast episodes.
They're pretty funny. I've seen a bunch.
They
of
are. I've
them.
watched a few of them.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, listeners. Thank you for joining us today. And give us your thoughts on these two books in particular, and let us know if they've affected your life in a negative way. I bet they have.
Or if you
Yeah.
read them to your kids as if you're parents now.
Please
do
don't.
you read them?
Please don't.
Please
Please
don't.
don't. But let us
Not
know if you
allowed.
do.
All right. Well, you know where to find us. Steph, you'll throw that bumper on the end of our episode.
Always.
Well, peace out, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
We'll talk to you in a couple weeks. All right,
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked it, be sure to check out our previous episodes on our website at www.millennialspod.com. And also, you can check them out on Spotify, Anchor, Google, or Apple Podcasts. While you're there, hit the follow and subscribe buttons so you can stay up to date on all of our latest episodes. Also, you can follow us on all of the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at Turn of the Millennials Pod, and like us on Facebook to leave a comment and a review. We greatly appreciate it. We will see you next episode.